My name's Charlie and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you some of my top poetry picks. This was a video that I was planning on doing anyway, but one of my lovely subscribers, Joe, you know who you are, love you lots, specifically asked me to do it, so this is what I'm doing. I can't show you all of the poetry that I own because obviously that would take quite a long time, so I'm just going to show you my very favourites of the ones that I've read this year. So okay, I'm going to dive right into it. Some of these you've already seen, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself to those that know it, but what can you do? Anyway, I'm going to show you the ones that you hear me bang on and on about, which is the ones by Nikita Gill. Nikita Gill just writes such beautiful poetry. The ones I've got by her are Wild Embers and also Fierce Fairytales. This does have poetry in it too. It's got the short stories and poetry as well. And these are they're both just beautiful. I rave about her. They're very, some of them are very fairy tale inspired. All of them are very empowering. They touch my heart. They're just wonderful, wonderful prose. They're just gorgeous. And there's even they touch on so many different elements like race, sexuality, and so many deeper things. So I definitely highly recommend Nikita Gill. For any age really, for all different ages, all different genders, whatever. They're beautiful. I love Nikita Gill's writing and Nikita Gill's poetry. Flatters her. I'll also quickly show you some. I love Duffy as well. I've discovered her this year as well. This is probably my favourite of the collection. I haven't got loads, but I've read quite a lot of her poetry, but mainly through collections. The one I own of hers solely is The World's Wife, and this is just gorgeous, and this is where she basically figures in history. She writes poetry about them, so she's got Mrs. Lazarus, Pygmalion's Bride, I think there's it's Queen Kong, so obviously that's inspired by King Kong, Anne Hathaway, it says, so people Mrs. Darwin, etc, etc, etc. These are really wonderful. I think I first got this out in the library and then I just had to buy it, so it's beautiful, beautiful. I love some of her other poetry as well, and I definitely want to buy more Duffy in 2019. But yeah, 100% recommend Duffy. And The World's Wife is just beautiful. I just love all of those poems. They're just they're brilliant. So yeah, that's why they're in my list. Another person you've heard me talk about is Christina Rosetti. This is the one I read in Victober. It's gorgeous. The book is beautiful. I just love the cloth-bound classics, as you guys know. And yeah, just Christina Rosetti's writing is just wonderful. And in this collection, you kind of have they've got it's quite good. It's quite diverse. They have ones to do with nature. It's one's called a birthday one. There's fairy tale ones. There's love poetry. I feel like this is a really good collection, obviously, which is why I'm including it. Christina Rosetti's words just flow so well. They just take you away to another place, and it just, I love it. Love it. Next one I'm going to talk about is one I've read fairly recently. I read it this month, and this is Don't Call Us Dead by Danez Smith. This is just wonderful. He tackles so many themes in this, obviously sexuality, police brutality, there's an endless list, and how and sex and other things as well, and sexually transmitted diseases and what it's like, and it's just how he puts this together. It's just whacks you in the chest. It can be quite uncomfortable reading, but in some ways, but it's very provoking. It's just it's so powerful, and he is just one of the most fantastical poets that modern poets that I've read. Like I said, this year. So I definitely had to put this in. I can see why so many people rave about this. I've heard so many of the popular booktubers rave about his poetry, which obviously I can see why, because this is outstanding. Just so many things I took from this. I felt like I learnt a lot from it. So definitely recommend this, and I can't wait to see what else he brings out. The next person I'm going to talk about and I'm going to show you is Yrsa Daley Ward. Now, first of all, I picked this up when I was on holiday, and I was trying to get this, but this was in the poetry collection, in the poetry section of Waterstones, and I somehow picked this up. But in a way, I'm kind of glad I did put this up first, because this is more this is more of her autobiographical, and it does have prose in it as well. And even though it's autobiographical, it's sort of written in a poetry style voice, and it's sort of the sections are broken down really beautifully, yeah. And it doesn't feel like an autobiography, but I can see that's obviously why it's put in the poet, because she is a poet, and yeah, she grew up in the north of England, and she suffered some hard times, like with her family, and this in itself is interesting. And then because of how much I loved this, I then picked up Bone, which this is her like a full poetry collection. This is just this just moved me so much. There's so much in here. Some of them are kind of written in a sort. So with this, it's an autobiography kind of told poetically, whereas these are poems, and some of them are told autobiographically. So together, when you read these together, they work. They're perfect. They're gorgeous, and you kind of understand, like inside her head a bit. You kind of get inside her head. I just loved it. So like I said, some of them are sort of story-esque and in bigger paragraphs, and some of them are just shorter little prose. Like, there's just so many in here that I really loved. Definitely check it out. It's very modern. She talks about sort of more modern issues, like to do with her life, and to do with so much more than that. It's just, yeah, really beautiful contemporary poetry. I loved it. I loved it. Now, then, I think what should I show you next? I shall show you a big one. This is one my daughter loves. I love it too. It's The Lost Words by Robert Macfarlane and illustrated by Jackie Morris. This is beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful books that I own. It's absolutely fantastic, and the words are just as beautiful. They are, so basically what it is there were these, Robert Macfarlane's come about this, is that there were I think there were 50 words, or I can't remember, so many words that were taken out of the English language in the year that this was written, and he decided to put those, and there were nature words, that's right, so many nature words were taken out of the English dictionary and replaced by modern words. So he decided to do this book and put those nature words back in, and yeah, and it's just done well. The poems are gorgeous. Jackie Morris's beautiful art, it's just so stunning. The illustrations are just gorgeous. The most beautiful paintings. So that's Otter. That goes with the poem Otter, and it's an acrostic poem. So you have the letters, obviously O-T-T-E-R, and then the words, and across here, and then the pages before. This is the reason why my daughter loves it so much, is you have to kind of find the letters in the. I'm gonna have to try and hold it. So you have to try and find the letters, and the darker letters, can you see, make up Otter, and it's just, it's so much fun. I read this with my daughter. I read this by myself, and the poetry is gorgeous. The concept is just wonderful, and it's very engaging, and 100% recommend for adults and children. So definitely one that's on my top picks. So if you haven't got it, definitely try and find it either in the library or somewhere else. The last one I'm going to finish you on is one I've again read recently. It's a collection by Chris Riddell, and it's one of the poems to live your life by. I think this is like a series, kind of these obviously these people that make these books, but yeah, by Pan Macmillan, and Chris Riddell has put it together and illustrated it, and he's actually got a poem in here himself, which is actually really fantastic. He's got some really classical ones in here, like Christina Rosetti. He's got he's got like Lewis Carroll with the Jabberwocky, which when I saw the Jabberwocky in there, the illustrations for the Jabberwocky are just outstanding. I love that poem anyway. Let's just see if I can find it. Where is it? I don't know. Either which way. And it's the thing I love about this is that it's broken down into sections. So you have, for instance, it's got like musings, youth, family, love, imaginings, nature, all different sections and different types of poems. And it works so well, and the illustrations are just so fantastical. You see, there's a Macfarlane, like with a little girl holding thing. Like there is a field. Can you see? I love, like Chris Riddell does amazing illustrations, as everyone, lots of people know. I first saw his illustrations in the Graveyard book, and I just loved them. So yeah, this collection is beautiful and 100% recommend from me. So that is the last one. I hope that you guys found something there that you would enjoy and that you're having a good week. Everything here is a bit crazy. It's not been the best week, I'm going to tell you the truth, but we'll plough through and we'll get through it. Thank you so much, Joe, for helping me pick this video, sending you lots of love specifically, and everyone else that watches my videos. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments that I get from you guys. You don't understand how much it like boosts me, it touches my heart. You guys mean so much to me. Honestly, you all do. So thank you so much for all that, and I'm sending love right back to you guys. Anyone that needs it, especially, I'm sending you a big hug, and I really mean it. And in case you're new to my channel, I post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. So lots of love to you. Goodbye, darlings. Bye.